Want to bring in now Bianco Research President Jim Bianco. All right, Jim, so this week, the Communist Party in China ordered its people to be positive. Okay? The question is, why is there so much pessimism considering humankind, where humankind was 20 years ago, 100 years ago, where we've come collectively, and still, you see, the wealthier a nation is, it seems like the more pessimistic.
You know, it reminds me of that old George Burns line, you know, sincerity is the most important thing in life, and if you could fake that, you've got it made. And that's what the Chinese seem to want from their people, is to fake that sincerity. But underneath that, they do have some issues. They've got very high youth unemployment, around 18%, where we're worried because ours is like 8%, theirs is 18%. And they've got some real challenges in their economy, and that's been showing up in their pessimism that they've got in China. But don't confuse that with the U.S. Just because they're pessimistic doesn't mean we need to be for the same reasons.
So, in fact, in the U.S., from an investment point of view, Bank of America just released what they call their 5 tailwinds going into next year. A big, beautiful bill of stimulus, Fed cuts, trade policy, AI investment, base effects. Your thoughts, and from an investor's point of view, should we be more optimistic than pessimistic right now?
Yeah, I think if you're talking about the economy and everything associated with it, yes, that the economy seems to be doing okay, and it seems to be moving forward. Now, like all economies, you know, it has its flat spots, and it does better in some periods. You know, it's kind of like a baseball player. They get on hot streaks, and then they get on cold streaks, but they continue to perform, and that's the way that the economy is doing. So I think that we should be optimistic about it. And on that list, you talked about AI investment. We should really be optimistic for that, because AI is going to open up a huge amount of opportunities that don't exist now but will exist in the future.
So on that list is also rate cuts. I know you're in a no rate cut camp for right now. I saw your post about jobless claims. I'm worried that the jobless claims don't capture the attrition, you know, rising U3 unemployment rate, which, by the way, is still woefully behind U6. That spread is even worse. And you know, of course, this adds in people who left the labor market. So just on that, and I'll also bring up the next slide here on the inflation side. You know, I saw a comment earlier today about higher airline fees, and you know, I feel like there's some cherry picking going on. Big progress in iron, textiles, machinery. As far as airlines, though, it brings me to this notion that first-class cabins is where it's been at, and this is what worries me. The Fed's restrictive policies hasn't done anything to hurt rich people. To me, though, it feels like it's still beating down the middle class, Jim.
Yeah, you know, you're right. In terms of the employment market or the labor market, there are challenges. There's no doubt there's challenges. But I don't know if any of those challenges can be solved or mitigated with lower interest rates. What I'm afraid of is the challenges of, you know, people coming out of college getting jobs. That's not going to get solved with lower interest rates. But lower interest rates could spur inflation. And so that's the risk that you have to trade off. And by the way, the Fed is definitely in a mixed camp on it. They're very divided at the Fed. Looks like they're going to cut rates in December, and it could very well be a 7-5 vote, something we haven't seen in many decades, that kind of a divided Fed. Just to show you that the inflation camp versus the labor camp is not a settled issue at all.
Hey, before you go, I got to ask you with respect to the same topic, the real poverty line, right? So Mike Green made this post over the weekend. People are going nuts over it. Had him on the show yesterday. The viewers went nuts over it. Essentially, the real math of survival comes down to the real poverty line, 140,000. I think the gist of this is that where the government's line is might not be realistic. Where do you think it should be?
Well, I agree that the government's line is more like a subsistence line, what you need to basically get in order to basically stay alive. But if Mike's numbers seem to really resonate with me when I read it over the weekend, too, that if you are a middle-class family looking to live a middle-class lifestyle, that is about $140,000. And as you slip under that, and the further you slip under it, you're losing that middle class line. Now, maybe poverty is a word that is kind of inflammatory, but definitely I could see that the number is much higher than people think. And that kind of gets to why people are worried about affordability, because everyththing's so expensive.
Absolutely. Keeping up with the Joneses is more expensive than ever before. Hey, you look good, my man. Looks like you're ready to go out, start Thanksgiving early. Thanks a lot for your help all year long. We'll see you again real soon.